2006 Envoy, Dirt Road Queen, North Dakota Fracker. This one's going to need an AC compressor. He says it locked up on him and he had to cut the belt off. And kept driving it. So, let's see how I put one of these in and take it out. First things first, he put a can't you just belt on here. Like, can't you just put a shorter belt on it to make it work, kind of a belt. So it's not going around the AC compressor, but regardless, I'm going to take this off first. You should be able to get a 3/8 something or another in here. Ratchet or whatever, push down on it. I'm going to get at this battery next. There should be a 10mm bolt down here, and I think a 10 here and a 10 here, and they're all gone. They're not on this car, so I just got to pull this bracket back. And get this bar out of here. Get this battery out of here. You take the negative off first, of course. Wow, look at that fancy thing. That's a real gem. There's a 13mm clamp on the back of the battery here. There's two 13s here, and there's three 13s on the bottom for this battery tray. I'm going to take this out of here, and there's a 10mm bolt down here for the horns. I got to take that out so I can get at them two bolts. So I'm going to unplug this horn. I got some 13mm all over on this. Yeah, this thing is a dirt road queen, alright. Holy smokes. None of these bolts want to come out of here. Wow, I gotta take this nut off all the way. A little wire clippy thingy here. Ooh, got another little wire clippy thing right here. Get that one out too. There. That looks roomy-er. Roomy-er. For some reason, I think I can take it out this way, so I'm going to try. 10mm here. 15mm on this bracket. There's one more in the back. Right here. For this bracket. There's a plastic clip here. Get that bracket out of the way. I'm going to get this alternator off next. There's a clip on the back of this. You could probably get this off. I use a hook tool, one of these guys. Get this wire off of here. You might be able to get at it better if you unbolt the alternator and carefully just turn it out of the way. I don't like doing that if I don't have to, though, because I don't want to break any wires. Alternator's got three 15mm bolts on it. There's one down here, right there. It's tough to see here. There, I got a bolt right here I got to take off. I'm going to get at this one first because it's the hardest one. Boy, none of this stuff is coming off like I want it to. It's all just dirt road grime. Okay, I guess I'll leave that bolt in there. It don't like me. There's two more up top here. That's a 10mm. Okay, now you can get this thing out of here somehow. I got three 15mm. I'm going to get this pulley out of here. Boy, this stubby ratchet is really coming in handy for this job. Everything's crammed in here pretty good. There, I got even more room. I'm going to get these two bottom bolts out first. It looks like I got to get at them from underneath. There's a plug right here. I'm going to unplug that. I got a swivel ratchet on this. I'm going to get this line off next. Of course, you're going to drain all the refrigerant out of here before you do this. This one doesn't have any in it because the compressor is completely locked up, so the seal probably blew out of it and it's all emptied out. I'm going to unplug this connector on this line just because I don't want anything bad to happen to that wire, because I'm going to be moving this stuff around. That's looking like a 15 millimeter right there. Okay, there's a 10 millimeter bolt on this line. I'm going to take that off too, so then I can get this line to move a little better for me. It's right there. There, nice. I even made more room for myself. Get that completely out of my way. I can't see how that won't come out of there. I think I can get it out. Alright, let's see if I can sneak this thing out of here. There it is. So that's how you do it. Now this system calls for 7.5 ounces of oil in a new system. You usually want to drain out as much as you can on these. I'm not going to get much out of this because this compressor's locked up. It probably didn't have enough oil in it to begin with. A lot of times that's why they do that. He might have a leak somewhere and somebody might have kept filling it. I don't know, but yeah, that's all the oil I got out of the thing, which is almost nothing. And plus, if this thing just blew out, you know, and had a major leak, a lot of the oil would come out with it. I don't see any spots where oil came out of this thing. All I see is a heck of a lot of dirt road. So with this new compressor, I'm going to take this apart. You got a reman. I don't like that either. You should always get new. Don't get these remans. I've had problems with them. They're cheap. There's probably already oil in here. There usually always is in these. You never know how much. Yeah, I don't know how much is in here, and a lot of times they put POE in here, which is ester oil, so you don't know the type that they put in here. A lot of remanufacturers put ester oil in everything because you can mix it with R12 or 134, and it mixes really good with any different weight of oil. So I'm going to dump out as much of this as I can. Just kind of turn the thing and pump this crap out of here. I got just over 2 ounces out of this thing. If this thing had a big leak, it's usually a big leak. You usually want to add 3 to 4 ounces of oil. And a really small leak, if you fix a really small leak, you want to add about an ounce or 2. You know, it's just a guess. So that's 5 ounces. I'm going to go 6 just to be safe, and that's almost max capacity for this thing. So there's an extra 1.5 ounces of leeway in there, and that's all I'm going to give it, 1.5 ounces. So this is an 8-ounce bottle. I'm going to put almost all of this in here. I'm just guessing. I'm a good guesser. That's about right. I got a little bit left in there. I'm going to put this back on so it doesn't drool all over the place when I slam this thing back in there. And I got to get this stud out of here. I got a stud puller for this. If you don't have one, you might have to get way down here on with like a vice grip, or I don't know, double nut it. I'd try double nutting it first so you don't wreck the threads. If you can't get this thing out or you wreck it too, you might just want to try to get a bolt that's the right size. When you're doing work like this, you should always replace this accumulator or receiver dryer, whatever people want to call it. And there's a fixed orifice tube, I believe, is back under here. There's like, see that nut, them two nuts? Take them two nuts out, and I think it's on this side. You look down in the tube and you'll see a fixed orifice tube, and you pull it out with a needle nose pliers and put the other one in. I'm not going to do that because I'm not doing what people tell me, and this guy just wants me to toss in a compressor, so that's what I'm going to do. Don't break the plastic. It's everywhere. What wonderful advice, huh? Don't break plastic. I guess I can get at these bolts pretty easy from the top. Now that line's not on there. No problem. You just can't see what I'm doing. Now I got some nice little O-rings on here. These guys. I just want to clean this surface, make sure it's real nice. And these O-rings, before you put them on, you want to put a little compressor oil on them. They seal better that way. Put them suckers on there. Here, I got the wires plugged in. And I can go ahead and put this one back on. Okay, now for the serpentine belt. If you're wondering how this thing goes, it's right there. Okay, now I got my $1 million evacuation apparatus here. So I'm gonna evacuate stuff. What did I do? It don't want to start. What the heck did I do? I don't know, man. This thing wouldn't start. I tried to do a passkey relearn. It still wouldn't start. I called the customer and he says, oh, I put a battery in it once and it wouldn't start, and I don't know what happened. I disconnected it and reconnected the battery, and then it started and ran. So that's what I did, and it started and ran. Okay, I let it run. I got engine vacuum in the system for a good 10-15 minutes. So I'm going to hook up my gauges and see what this thing wants to do. Hopefully it'll hold on to that. I'll check in another 15-20 minutes, see if it stays in the same spot. Okay, it's been a good 20 minutes. It's holding the same vacuum, so I don't think there's any other leaks in here, which is good because when it came in, it didn't have any system pressure, so that compressor that was in it was probably leaking. For a remanufactured compressor, I think that's as good as I'm going to get. I normally like the high side pressures to be a little higher, but it's not going up any more than that. So yeah, that's about right. I guess I'm going to leave it.